Finally, after 18 months of ownership, 4 service appointments, a fender bender, and a bunch of other use and testing and road trips, this is my long-term owner review of the Genesis GV70, the best car I've ever owned, and unfortunately one that I could still never recommend you buy. Let me tell you all about it. So, why did I buy the GV70? Well, I'm primarily an SUV daily driver guy, and I was also coming off of selling my Jaguar F-Type. The GV70 combined the athleticism and sporty performance of the F-Type with the SUV body type in a really nice crossover. My Genesis is the 2023 2.5T Prestige all-wheel drive model with the Adriatic blue exterior color and blue on blue with red stitching on the interior. Stylistically, I think this car looks amazing from all angles. Now, if you get the lower end trims that don't have the sports rounded exhausts, I think it looks a little silly in the rear end. They're kind of like slits, but the way that I've optioned this one out is very nice. And since we're talking about the look and feel and styling of the vehicle and trims, we might as well just get trims out of the way. I think Genesis does an incredible job of selling these vehicles. It's all-inclusive pricing, which means all the pricing is baked in. There's no additional fees, and options are basically non-existent. You choose your trim package, choose your colors, and you're done. I wish more manufacturers sold cars this way because it just makes it easy to know what you're getting, easy to know what you're paying, and you know exactly what you're in for before you click accept. Now, if you are considering a Genesis vehicle and you're considering one of these fancier paint colors like the Adriatic blue that I have, I would strongly recommend paint protection because I did not, and it is showing some hairline scratches here and there from just going through the car wash or, you know, rubbing up against branches or stuff like that. Other than that, wear after 18 months is pretty minimal looking. Like I mentioned at the start of the video, I did have a minor fender bender. Somebody rear-ended me at a stoplight, so I have a couple of little bumps in the bumper, but otherwise the car looks very good. On the inside, the seats, especially the driver's seat, is starting to wear a little bit from just coming in and out of the vehicle. It's natural that you would rub against it every time you come in and out of the car, so that's showing some wear. Very typical for leather. Build quality, otherwise on the interior and on the exterior, looks phenomenal and has been great. So let's talk about the driving experience now. This car has more horsepower than my Jaguar F-Type did. I had the 2-liter F-Type. This is the 2.5 turbo engine in here. Now, it is, of course, a Hyundai engine. Genesis is the premium line of Hyundai after all, but it feels perfectly suited for this size and model of car. And in a straight line, it goes like stink. It's a lot of fun. In the corners, a little bit of body roll. Definitely not the most agile vehicle ever made. However, most SUVs are not. It's going to get you to A to B very quickly, and if you can't go quick, at least you'll be comfortable because that interior is quite nice. I think for a vehicle as equipped at $65,500 retail, it's got all the bells and whistles you'd expect on the inside. Heads-up display, satellite navigation, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, a touchscreen, multiple drive select modes for rain, snow, etc., sport mode, paddle shifters on the sport wheel, which is really nice, a majority digital but partially analog dial. You can get a fully digital dial if you want. What you've got here on the base level trims is more than adequate, gets the job done. It's clear and easy to read, very responsive. In addition to a 360 cam and a backup cam, it also has cameras on the mirrors, so when you change signals, you get a preview of what is beside you at either time right in the display. Again, this is a super nice touch. Haven't seen this on many other vehicles, and I've really enjoyed using it. Hasn't given me any troubles before. And as I said, the car is a rocket in a straight line, but if you're in stop and go traffic, or you are commuting, say on the highway, like I do to work every day, it has a fantastic automatic cruise control function. I don't think enough people talk about just how good it is in this car. Now, granted, it does decelerate pretty abruptly if somebody comes into your line of traffic. For example, if you set up your automatic cruise control and you're bumping along, and someone changes lanes in front of you, it's a bit abrupt. Other than that, it does a very good job of keeping you centered in the lane, keeping you at speed, keeping you a safe distance from the car in front of you. And again, I don't think enough people talk about just how good it is. it definitely makes a lot of the more boring commutes in stop and go traffic here in the Toronto area of Canada much more bearable. Now let's talk about the ownership experience of having a Genesis vehicle, because they also sell this as a really big feature. And I can say that it's been a joy to have. It makes life so easy. Gone are the days with Genesis of having to take your car to the dealership and sit there for hours while you get your oil changed, or you get something checked out, or you get a recall done. You just call them up, say you need a service appointment, they'll come to you, give you a loaner Genesis for the day. It's the same trim or better. I always frequently end up with GV70 models, which is a really nice thing to test drive for a couple of days here or there. And they just let me know when they're going to be back to swap vehicles. They'll come to my house, they'll come to my office, whatever I need or where I need them to drop off, they are there. Honestly, the biggest time saver and best convenience factor ever in a car. Like, this alone could be a reason for some people to buy this car in of itself. So far, so good. And most of my 18 months of experience have been a true joy with this car. Like I said at the start of the video, it's the best car I've ever owned so far. And I've had Chevy, BMW, Jaguar, Volkswagen, but there's a problem with Genesis. And the problem is the same reason why I can't recommend that you go and buy one. And that brings me to reliability. Now, while Hyundai has been around forever, Genesis is a fairly new line. It is part of their family. And it has showed, unfortunately. At 11,000 kilometers, I had an engine light, a brand new car. Had to have it in for 2 days to get a part replaced. At 20,000 kilometers, I had condensation form in my left headlight. The biggest problem for me so far with my GV70, the electronics system as a whole. At 28,000 kilometers, my trunk started opening randomly whenever I started the car. At the time of this recording, I don't even have my car. I'm driving a loaner GV80 for the third time in a month because my battery keeps going flat. And no, it's not the battery and it's not the alternator. Both have been checked. It's something else inside the car. An electronic component of some sort they haven't been able to figure out yet is not shutting off. The anxiety of living with this problem for the past month has completely turned me off of wanting to buy another one of these cars. And it is ultimately such a shame, because just about everything else about owning this car has been such a refreshing experience. I think Genesis is propping themselves up in a really nice way for a great long-term ownership experience. But when your reliability is something akin to what Land Rover has dealt with for many, many years of being notoriously unreliable and needing a ton of service appointments, that is a bad way to start your foray into this new line segment. And I think Hyundai has work to do there. And I know I'm like the worst person to say that having a car that's basically a computer is not being such a good thing for me, because I am a tech person. That's what I do. Reliability has to trump features and conveniences and technology above all else. A car has to work as a car first and foremost. And as of recently, I've not gotten that experience out of my GV70. And until I can rely on it to be my A to B car that I can use every day, that I can come out to and know it's going to start, that I'm going to be able to unlock the doors and turn it on, I'm not going to be able to say you should go and buy one. As convenient as the service appointments are, as nice as all the technology and the options, and as competitive as the pricing is, tit for tat, you pair this against any of the similar mild luxury or luxury SUVs in this segment, it's the best priced one. It's such a tough thing for me to deal with, because my opinion of this car has completely changed from basically the 1 year ownership mark to today. And I hope that all of my problems can be resolved in the near future, so that maybe down the road I can say, yes, there's a few kinks in the machine, but eventually they'll get ironed out. But all I can say is that's been my experience owning this car. But what do you guys think? Are you Genesis owners? Are you Genesis fans? Do you like the brand? Do you like what it stands for? Have you had similar problems to me if you're a Genesis owner yourself? Let's have a conversation, as always, down in the comments below. Thank you for listening to my rant about cars, and I'll see you again soon in the next video.